had a chance to visit my daughter Margaret recently, and she took me out to where she rides. I had never seen her house before, but when she picked me up, she said she had scheduled some horseback riding. She's taking lessons. So I said, well, let's go out there. And there was this nice little, I guess you'd call it just a riding school, riding academy. Very, very, very laid back. Of course, the horses are laid back too. You can see them here. They're all doing time in a very nice kind of gentleman's prison, like the kind they have in Danbury for the government officials. And I got a chance to go through it and to look at the horses before the girls is saddled up. And there are people of all ages out here. I guess you can go out and you can just say you want to learn to ride. I guess you start on this baby. And then they have one that's set up like an oil can. I'll show you later. Here's some of the trees. It's the kind of place I like. It's not pretentious at all. Oh, we're horse people, all that nonsense. Everybody's wearing jodhpurs and houndstooth coats. We've had enough of that. But it was laid back, and people were set out at picnic tables, and young kids were riding, and old folks were riding, and everybody's taking lessons. There was a young girl doing a little prancing out there. Here's where they put you when you, rather than go to the bars and get drunk, you do it right here. Get used to the horses, and the horses were out to pasture. It's the springtime, so they love this. The hay is okay, but the grass is much better. And so anyway, while I was taking those films and Margaret was putting on her riding outfit, this is her friend Shelley, who I got a chance to meet. She was wonderful. And they both kind of ride together at the same times. So while they were suiting up and then they have to saddle their horses and stuff, I took another shot of the riding ring. And that's the office, very unpretentious. Come on in, sign up, and we'll show you how to do it. I went back and took a look at some more of the horses. Just to show you they're horses that in fact you like to ride. They're not going to scare the living daylights out of you, and they know all the tricks if you give them the right commands. That's the deal. And Margaret moved right up. She brought some carrots, and she picked her horse, which was called Velvet, and she gave him a little hands-on first. It's important, and Velvet liked that kind of deal. And now she has to put on his bridle, I guess you call it, the bit in the mouth, which I'm sure they love that, but they get used to it. Like a lot of husbands do too. They get used to that, and here it goes. It slips right in, and once it's in, you forget about it. It's like braces. And she kind of tightened it up here, and we got him so he's ready to ride, as we say in the business, and like pizza to go. He's rare to have a time. And here's Shelley. She brought her horse, who is the same color and the same name as Bandit, Margaret's beloved dog, who died recently. I love that dog too. I always felt it was somehow a guardian of Margaret, even though he wasn't very alert. You don't have to be alert to be a guardian. You just have to be steady and faithful, and that's what the dog was. It was just an old slobbery dog, and this looked like an old slobbery horse too, and very pretty. And so the girls, they kept petting him and make sure that they knew we were friends. This is Margaret coming out with Velvet now, and Shelley, or Michelle if you'd be more formal, with Bandit. And then they made their way into the riding ring. And they go off in the ring here, and they go through a series of walk the horse around and get him. They like the grass, so they'd rather eat the grass. And there's one of the neighborhood dogs in there. And then they you tighten them up, the saddles and everything, make sure they're going. And they don't do the Clint Eastwood hop along Cassidy jump on the horses. They have little steps they get up. And even if you are 6'1" like Clint, I'm sure he has a double get on the horse for him, because I remember that was an exercise, even when I was in shape. So there's the steps going up. Shelley's going up. She's on the horse, and they're both doing a little ride around. And they kind of go pretty slowly at first and get the horses acclimated. And after a while, they had an instructor came out and showed them some of the cool tricks that you do with your knees and all that stuff. And so in the beginning here, it's just pretty much I had them gallop towards me so I could show how great they looked. his Margaret, and I guess this is International Velvet. I hope that's the Elizabeth Taylor horse that made her famous at 12, and his Bandit coming up with Michelle. So they look pretty professional. They got the crash helmets on in case they get bucked, which is always in the back of my mind. My partner, Scylla Liscombe in Soul Speak, tells me that she was a horse and animal trainer. She says horses are the most stupid animals there are. And that even made me steer clear of them even more. So anyway, you get little shots of them here. I guess they walk them around for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I don't have a lot of the shots when they started to trot and canter and all that stuff, because I think I was on to better things, and that's called taking a nap in the grass. So, but anyway, you get some little shots of them here, and I'll send a link of this to Michelle too, so she can see herself. And then another gal came in, and they started the class, and this is the I guess Cantor, named after Eddie Cantor, the famous horseman. We went through that for about an hour, and they rode. Then we wound up back in Margaret's house, and my first chance to see it. She's had it for several years now, and she has a very good Soul Speak sticker on her back, which all Soul Speak fans should have. Got a chance to see the house, which was really large. It's 2 stories. It's beautiful, and she really did a nice decorating job. I think her friend Lisa may have helped her on this, who you'll see a little later. It has a nice big kitchen, and it's very well lit. And, so they have some nice prints about, and here's one from my son JD's tour that he took on a art book that he had written, and then some pictures that she's had for a long time through the various places that she's lived. She came back from California to take a job with the government, so with the Obama boys, and she's showing me your front porch. They have like a side porch, front porch, upstairs porch. It's all very nice. It's like the old townhouses, but they're made of wood. And here's the front. They're big houses, They go up and up and up, and all the bedrooms are upstairs, and they're really quite large. And it's part of a development of an old hotel grounds, and it went back even further than that. But we'll see part of the hotel soon when we go to the wine tasting, because this happened to be the day before Margaret and Mark's, her husband, who's a winemaker, their 5th anniversary. So they combined a wine tasting with the anniversary celebration. He had to come in from California. They're bi-coastal, if you will, couple. They travel back and forth by plane to see each other or phone. And here's the dining room. I'm just moving around very quickly in the house just to give you a little feel of it. You may get dizzy. Some of the cartons are wine that's come in for the wine tasting, which is at the hotel that they still maintain on the grounds, an old 150-year-old hotel. And I think it's also converted to condo apartments at this stage. So here we are taking another tour of the, looks like the living room and the mantle and the fireplace, and just to give you a feel of the scope of the thing. Well, here's another shot of the living room. I wanted to go back. I was moving so fast. I love that large couch and the fireplace, which I presume was a working fireplace, and I wanted to get a little better shot of the kitchen, which is nice, as both Margaret and her husband Mark are great cooks, although when they're together, either on the west or the east coast, Mark does most of the cooking, and he's pretty good too. Margaret's a bit faster, she says, in preparing things than Mark, but the quality is there. Both she and JD, my oldest son, are very good cooks, as is their mom, Sharon. And they must have picked it up from there, and they just kept going. Here's the old George Washington Bridge, which is where they lived as kids, not on it, but close to it. And then again, another shot of the kitchen is Margaret coming in, and I think we get a little shot of Lisa, who just came down from cleaning up some of the rooms upstairs. And she's been a long-time companion of Margaret's, and a very close friend. She's going over to Vietnam to work. And here we're coming up to the. This is a quilt probably that Margaret's mom Sharon made for her. She makes some quilts, doesn't she? So if you're going to die soon, you want to order one from her. They make great linings for caskets. They're very colorful and soft for your body, for the final journey. And here we went upstairs, and I guess I was do a little dipsy doodle there. And here's some pictures of their wedding. It was beautiful. It was out at J.D. and Tony's place in the Hamptons, and then we may stay here for a while if things work out. We're staying at Art's house right now. My second son, having a great time there. And this is, like the main suite. It has a closet the size of the BMT subway in New York. And here's some pictures of her that I made for my kids. My two sons didn't like them. They thought that was a waste of time, but Margaret, thank goodness, had more sense. And here's her bathroom to the suite. It has it has an office, drawing room, and then a big room, and it's just the latest in plumbing, I won't go too far into it, but it's there. And of course there's my Alfred Hitchcock shot. I'm always in every one of these, and we're going back now into the outdoor porch off her bedroom proper, which is where the connubial bed is. I think that's what they call it. And you can see the other houses. It's very nice, the old style look of it. And again, I just went through with her, and she's explained the size of the bed to me if we stay there. And that for me, even a king-size bed is too small. I need an emperor bed, which is basically the whole room covered with a mattress, because I kind of crawl around a lot. So she said she could put an extra bed in there. There's some family pictures and a little view here of the blinding window, so to speak. And then back to the bed. You get a little idea of the light that comes in here. It's very nice. And here she's screwing on one of her bedposts. I don't know if she was swinging on it the night before. It's possible. These anniversaries, they have a way of getting out of hand. And here we're just going down the hall from her room to where another guest room and where Lisa lives, and we caught Lisa preparing to go to Vietnam and preparing the room for someone else, and it was I caught her in costume flagrante delicte or something like that. The clothes were just all over the place.
Vietnam, here I come.
And then across the room is another very nice bedroom with great windows, and then back down the hall, and we're going to go down the stairs pretty soon if I don't fall. When you get older, the balancing act is quite a feat. You can walk, but your balance is a little bit whacked out. And here we go, just a little view of it. And I think this is the last shot before. I took this the day before the wine tasting, so everything was kind of set up for people to come over, and they wanted to prepare the food. Her husband prepared the food, and her friend Janice, and a lot of Margaret's friends from government eventually showed up, and his Mark in the back. He's kind of a nervous wreck because, that's the wine tasting is of his wine. That's her friend Janice. They're preparing the cheese and the meat and the bread and the crackers and look at that tasty green salad there. So there was a nice spread they put out at the old hotel, which I'll show you in a second. And here we're inside it. This is one of the ballrooms. So it has that old wooden look, and this is when they're just setting up the tables with a price list for the wine. And he's kind of a small, very good winemaker, Mark. And he's out there in the wine country, where everybody's drinking like crazy. And this is just another shot of where they set up at the bar. It was nice. They had a little soft music playing, and people were very informal. They're friends of Margaret's that she knows in Washington and who support her and the winery, which is a kind of joint venture of the two of them, although Mark is the artist behind it. And the crowd started started to thicken as time went on, and then everybody could get into a real chatty mood. And there's Lisa right there. She's a great gal. And here we go down, and that's another shot of her. And I think that's, we just, bing, here we are back after the wine tasting. And it would happen to be their 5th anniversary. It just struck me that time had passed so fast. I really made a nice poem for them on their 2nd anniversary, both a written and a video poem, which I think is one of the best I've done in terms of the video poem. It was so natural, and it was just a good poem. So here they are. There's Janice in the background, and there's Lisa and her fella. They're all doing a big toast here, and by this time they had all been drinking for 3 or 4 hours, because it's part of the wine tasting is to get a little plastered, you know. And so we came back. We had champagne, and I took a little. It was nice champagne too. I took a little sip of it, even though I don't drink anymore. And then I passed it on to somebody else to get the bag on. And so it was a nice collection of friends that she has. I really enjoyed talking to them and meeting them. I would call them superior women, you know. That's all I can say about it, and just leave it at that. And I think we have a toast coming up and a kind of big uproar of talk, so I'm going to let that go, or maybe I'll just kind of say something. Okay, here's the toast.
Many more.
It's going on.
Many more. I got it here. I got you. Come on, darling. Here we go. We got you guys. Great. Okay. Here you go. Yes, you. Better believe it.
60,000 days.